Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren. I help coaches with their online marketing, especially if they want to coach online. And today I have a very special guest. I have a Jackie Cooney from Calgary's Top Fitness Awards with me today. Jackie, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me, Lauren. I'm very excited.
Why don't we start just by you sharing a little bit about your background in fitness?
Well, it's to encompass everything, but I guess to encapsulate it, I would say from school, when you take career tests and aptitude tests, it always geared me to sport and recreation. And so funny enough that I've been in the industry for almost 30 years in some capacity, and started off as a running coach with the city of Calgary, and also as a fitness coach in a studio in Calgary, in a small studio. Taking my AFLCA and my NCCP for coaching, to be a running coach, and then my strength and conditioning. And I've taught everything from like running. I got specialized in mom and baby. I teach step. I used to love teaching step. Obviously spin, where that's why I got chosen to be an ambassador for Lululemon. When I was working towards my CPT, I was an athlete. I kind of done it all. And while I was working for the city of Calgary, I got exposed to many different, obviously disciplines. And then I was trying to think, when I was working on my CPT, I got an opportunity to create a strength program for the city of Calgary. So co-created it, wrote my first manual, and got to train instructors, which was awesome. And then I just kind of worked my way up. I got an opportunity to work for the Calgary Jewish Center as their fitness manager. It was an awesome opportunity. And that's when I really got to understand the backgrounds of management, and how, you really have to listen to your clientele, to your community, and hire a strong team, and create great programming, which I got to do with a Lose to Win there. And then I got an opportunity to work at Genesis up in the northeast of Calgary, because they just opened, and I wanted to work in a more diverse culture and set up a customer service. So I really got to hone in my skills on that customer service in a unique environment, and different cultures. So I really loved that. And then an opportunity came up at Talisman, where it was they were one of the first high performance facilities in North America. And I was just like so excited to end up as the fitness manager there and build a team. And while, there grew at the time the great leadership there, and I got to really be creative. So once again, I created a program called The Push, one called Combine, that was for youth and getting them used to testing for sports, and also something that's still there, Adrenaline. And that was to showcase the talent of people that were coming up, working on becoming personal trainers. They got to work with a small group and showcase their talent. So I think along the way, I've had these opportunities, and I've got so many leadership courses that I have been exposed to, and have people have helped me like just hone in my skills, my management skills. Unfortunately, not my speaking skills right now, but yeah. So I guess along the way, I've just really been lucky to work with amazing teams and build amazing teams. And I've always felt it was my job to showcase trainers so they could be sustainable and have longevity within the industry. And that's been a passion of mine for the past probably over 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've really done it all when it
Yeah.
comes down to it. Like, you've worked at studios, gyms, with trainers, instructors, you've been instructors, like it's, and one of my favorite things about you, and you even said this, is that you have such a care for your teams. You have such a care to ensure that your trainers, the instructors, everyone is taken care of.
Yes.
And showcasing them and all that type of stuff, which I believe is why you came out with Calgary's Top Fitness Awards.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say that I went last year, and it was amazing. It was such a great event. And then I was going to ask you to just share a little bit of your ideas and how Calgary's Top Fitness Awards came to be.
Well, it was a combination of things. I think in the industry, obviously social media was becoming dominant, and along with that, with the media and aesthetics, there was a lot of influencers that had great motivational stories about, maybe weight loss or some kind of fitness transformation, or and they obviously generated a great following, a strong following. But I noticed that they weren't certified. And so it would frustrate me, because I was like, here I have this amazing team, especially at Repsol. And, the social media people were heading towards that direction of more influencers. And there's nothing wrong with a strong influencer that has all the certifications and the great story. Now that's just a powerhouse, right? But at the time I was a little bit frustrated at how social media was kind of just making the lines even more blurry, and where were the governing bodies, and how do you know who is certified and who's not certified? And there was so much, when somebody goes into the industry and they have purpose and passion, and they take their certifications and they're always evolving. It's like when I look back at my career, if I got an injury, I would take my Pilates because I want to know, so every certification I have kind of was out of passion and purpose. So that was kind of when I decided that when I left Talisman, that I wanted to create a recruiting company that helped people that were certified get their face to the front. They were the first to have opportunities in different facilities, corporate or personal, and to educate the public, do your due diligence and know who is training you. I think that is so important, because you need that background. It's great that people have great stories, but it maybe doesn't give them the background to get somebody else there. So I guess I started my own company of recruiting, but how I always showcased any kind of trainer was with a program. And I was like, what program can I develop, and how can I get more connection with the community? So that's where obviously I started with, I wanted it to be Calgary's Top Fitness Awards, and it became Canada's Top Fitness Awards, because I collaborated with a magazine, and it was great. And I made sure that everybody had their credentials. But I decided that this is my home, and I wanted to recognize the outstanding trainers, studios, recreation facilities, leaders within Calgary who are really making a difference. So back in the day when I started, Lululemon started. That's how people coveted that to be an ambassador. And I was so lucky to kind of get my foot in the door to see how they did it. And that was kind of, I guess, all the seeds to lead to Calgary's Top Fitness Awards, just to recognize people.
Mm-hmm. And I think Calgary is so lucky to have you as a spokesperson for all of the trainers and instructors and gyms, and someone that cares about all of them and wants them to get that awareness out.
Thank you.
It's important.
Absolutely, it is. I mean, it's a lot of work, but every time I meet somebody and they tell me their story, I'm just blown away. I just think there's so much incredible talent, and that talent should be showcased. Even at the time, if somebody is working every day, it's hard. It's hard to be an influencer on social media and have a full-time job as a trainer, or be a studio owner. And kudos to the people that do it, because there are facilities in Calgary that nail it. But I want to also recognize the people that are just grinding it out. Now they have no choice but to be on social media. But but that's the way
True.
it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I know you talk a lot to people in the industry, whether they're gym owners, instructors, personal trainers. And I'm just curious what you think or how you think COVID, so the state of the world right now, is going to change the fitness industry, whether that be in Calgary or just as a whole.
Yeah, so many ways, so many ways. It's been very interesting, and it's been hard to watch. You know, you develop relationships with the people that are in the industry, obviously. So when they hurt, I hurt for them, and of course, nobody expected it. And there isn't a studio or a business that has a business model on half capacity, right? That's,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
this just doesn't work that way. And then, of course, the government, you know, obviously giving the crib out to people. It was creating this storm that when obviously the facilities could open. So on phase 3, you know, they were like phase 4, but the industry was fighting to try and open earlier. And I reached out saying, how can I help? But I learned very quickly that the industry was divided because a lot of people didn't want to open because, of course, they don't want to be the studio or the facility that gets everybody sick and gets their name. They don't want that attached. But then there's people that are, we're going to be really safe, mental health. You know, you need to keep that in mind that people need fitness and they to, you know, for their outlet. So they half the industry wanted to open, right? So in those, so they obviously they opened, but they could only open half capacity. And you know, the awards, I think back on how it is for networking and recognition, and the industry now was was divided again. So
Right.
so that was interesting. But you know, the studios are suffering, but they have been innovative and they've done online and they've streamed, which I think is phenomenal. And this is the way it was already starting with Peloton. Even if you look at Anytime Fitness, you could go to their facility and still take online classes right there, right? So it was already trending, but even more so now. That is the way the fitness equipment, that's one of the companies, or what's the word I'm looking for, that those businesses have rise to the top, right? Because now people wanted to get a home gym. So
Oh, yeah.
they were booming. I, for a short time, worked for a fitness, like for Apple Fitness that sold Life Fitness. And in those 2 weeks when the gyms were closing, I sold 200,000
Oh, my goodness.
in 2 weeks, and we had nothing left. So great for that industry, for home gym, like I think, and people, you know, it's good for their lifestyle because it fits into their lifestyle. They have now adapted to it. So, but
Yeah.
I worry about the kids, and how in fitness, and now that they don't have their sports, or they couldn't, what's that going to do to the kids? So it's,
Mhm.
you know, we pulled out the old Wii and we were playing, and my
Oh,
kids
nice.
were older, but we were playing, you know, all the old Wii, table tennis, whatever it was.
Mhm.
um, you know, so I worry about the kids, the seniors. I was just you know, going to the bank, and I saw a bunch of seniors drive and have their chairs out, you know, social distancing, but being social, right? But now they didn't have their space. Like now, like how is that going to impact them? So, you
Yeah.
know, I think the industry will forever be changed, and I hope that now the wellness component of the
Mhm.
fitness industry will become more relevant. So people won't just think fitness, they'll think wellness. And what does that look like? It means, like, if you have an online trainer, maybe you need some kind of therapist, and I like, it's because it's all encompassing, right? Somebody that's making sure that you're eating properly, somebody that your mental health is good, somebody that is your personal trainer. So it's going to be all encompassing wellness and fitness. I feel like that's the direction. I also feel that the industry might turn around and collaborate more. They were starting to, but collaborate in a different way. Um, because I know that there are some spaces that maybe could be better utilized. So hopefully to be sustainable, maybe
Oh yeah, that's a
some of the
good point.
studios will collaborate together. I mean, these are just, what I see. Everything kind of will come around again, hopefully. But I think online right now is going to be what
Most
we're,
popular.
yeah. And so now people need to do their due diligence and make sure the people that they're watching online have their certifications.
Right. Yes. I think like I completely agree with you. Like I've always been an advocate for online stuff or like having the hybrid where you're in person and online. But I think you bring up a really good point that fitness is obviously more than just the class or the trainer or this. Like it's the community of the gym, of the space. It's good for your mental health and like kids going out and playing versus not being able to do that in the wintertime because you can't play indoors with groups of people, or seniors like doing their exercise group classes together is exercise, but it's so good for their mental health. And
Yes.
so being able to create that type of community or some type of community online like that, I think is going to be one of the biggest challenges that gyms or whatever fitness companies need to create and need to like establish that community online. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
okay, so let's go back to the Calgary's Top Fitness Awards. So you host them in the fall, which
I,
means that they're coming up.
well, yeah. So yes. So right now nominations are open,
Right.
um, for studios, business, so recreation facilities, trainers, online trainers, because that's going to be a hone. Obviously, we're going to hone in on this year, and instructors, also different disciplines. So make sure that you add the discipline that whoever you're nominating. Yeah, so we're looking forward to, we've already started and it's been awesome this year how many people are being recognized and nominated. So yeah.
And so who can nominate?
So anybody can nominate. If you are work in a facility and you think your coworkers are rock star, nominate them. If you have a trainer, and then you can nominate them. If your favorite place to sweat, so whether it's a recreation facility, whether it's a studio, where if it's a small business, like a personal training company, anybody in the fitness realm, throw it out there. We
Nominate.
got, yeah.
And I'll link below, and people can check it on your website, all the different categories that people can nominate people,
Awesome.
just to make sure people know that, because there's quite a few and it's growing.
Yes, it is growing. And, we're always looking for feedback. So reach out, via the email at calgarytopfitnessawards.ca. We're always going to evolve and build. This year, we don't know what's going to happen. So I haven't been overactive on obviously social media because I don't know what's going on, but I do want everybody to be nominated. We are going to recognize people. We will be launching the new panel, which I'm really excited for, and that panel is so crucial to just keep it.
So why don't you tell us actually, so when people get nominated, how are the winners selected? Because I feel like
So
that makes you really unique as your awards.
yeah, so what last year, obviously you sat on the panel. I had an amazing panel last year, and they pick the winner. So what happens is I collect all the information, I take all the personal information out of it, and then I give it to the panel, and then they start vetting the people that, with the criteria from the answers of the nominees. So once you're nominated, a questionnaire will go out to the people that were nominated. They will answer the questionnaire, and that's what comes back to me, and that's where all the personal, their name, where they work is taken out.
Right.
And then the panel, they choose their top, and then we just keep going down until we have like 5 in each category, and those are the people that are on kind of on the leaderboard, and then one person from that group of 5 is chosen and announced at the awards. So
Yeah.
this year it's going to be a little bit different, and the panel, they're also they don't have to be specific in the fitness industry. They can be in the fitness wellness, or because we had like Trevor Irwin from Apple Fitness in there last year, and yourself with the social media, but you obviously been a trainer, so you're in that category. Yeah, so the panel is very important to make sure that you know, it stays legit, and it doesn't have any bias. Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's such a great thing. So there's no biases. It's very, yeah, transparent, open. And I just think that that's the way that you want to run something like that.
Yes,
especially in a small community like ours, Calgary's fitness community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how long can people nominate for? Like, when do the nominations close?
Well, in October. So beginning of October, the nomination will close down, and then we will be choosing. That's when the panel has to work really hard. And
Right.
yeah, so if you've nominated somebody, they will start getting the questionnaires beginning of September, and then yeah, nominations will close in October, and then in December, that's when we give away the awards. And like I said, usually we last year we had a dinner, and this year I don't know how we're going to do it, but we are going to do it. So we'll be very creative and innovative, just like the industry is. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Jackie, that's all the questions that I had for you. So thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yeah, thanks for promoting it.
Yes, I will link all the information.
Everybody in Calgary to know about it. So
I'll link all the information below so that people can nominate or check it out. I know you created a really great publication of all the winners last year. And so if you're curious a bit more about what it's about, all the information is on your website on Calgary's Top Fitness Awards, so people can just check it out there. And then they can follow you on Instagram at Calgary's Top Fitness Awards as well. But I'll link all that to make sure it's all perfect. Okay, thank you so much, Jackie.
Okay, thank you.